everybody, I'm Grant Flood from Floodsters Sports Zone, and welcome to my NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame Van Bodens for the 2020-21 class. Boy, I am so looking forward to it. As you can see right there, you can cast your vote, obviously, for the class of 2021. You vote as often as you like for as many players as you like. Oh boy, this is going to be a lot of fun. Again, I'll probably go on multiple accounts and vote, but at least for my regular one, you'll at least see my first reaction here on YouTube, and my apologies if notifications do pop up as I'm using a screen recorder. Anyway, we will get underway. John Abram, listen, I think there's about 45 players or so. I'm not going to spend too much time on each and every one. Abram, and a lot of these players obviously deserve to get into the Hall of Fame. Obviously, they're for recognition. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of them just aren't going to pretty much ever make it, unfortunately. I hate to say Abram falls under that category, but he might. I'm going to have to skip on that one. Again, I can't vote for as many people as I want. So, that's good. All right. We will continue here with kicker David Ayers. I do like a lot of early 2000s Eagles players, but I don't know. Kickers are tough. You gotta be, in my opinion, you have to be a spectacular kicker or punter to be in the Hall of Fame. Was David Akers good? Yes, but this is like, for example, if you were to put David Ayers in the Hall of Fame, then that means you'd have to vote for Steven Gostkowski when he's eligible, 5 years whenever he retires. So I would have to also skip on David Ayers. Sean Alexander, okay, I know a lot of people are probably like, why does this guy keep on going up for ballot? Here's the thing, all right? Yes, he won the 2005 MVP, but really other than that, he was nothing spectacular, and you're right. The problem, I think the thing is that Sean Alexander, he actually has scored more career touchdowns than Barry Sanders. That is really the only logical reason as to why I might think he's still up for ballot. I really do like Sean Alexander. I've seen a lot of his highlights, and he was a very good running back. But he's one of those players where maybe I vote for him I want to vote for everybody, I want to, actually vote for the people I want to vote. Not just be like, oh, hell, vote for everyone 10 times and then boom, be done. No, that's not fun. If any of these people are watching, and if I don't vote for them, I apologize in advance. I don't know. It's just, hopefully you make the Hall one day, but I personally just won't be voting for you. But hey, listen, I wish you the best of luck, and this is still great achievement nonetheless. All right, next up we have cornerback Eric Allen. I've heard comparisons to him like Chris Harris Jr., and Chris Harris is a very good corner, but if he's not a Hall of Famer in my book, then no offense, Eric Allen, but I don't think he is either. Jared Allen, we found one. Our first vote casted. This man was a great bull rusher for the Vikings, man. I know he played on the, those other teams too, Panthers, Bears, and Chiefs, but Jared Allen, the man was a monster. He would just plow through the right side of the offensive line, just get to the quarterback. He was also a great run stopper. Yeah, definitely want to go with Jared Allen for the Hall. Oh, we got the A-Train, Mike Allstott. This is another cast and vote, Mike Allstott. It's probably, I'm not even kidding here, he's probably my favorite retired non-Jaguar player. Of course, I am a Jaguars fan. I love Mike Allstott. I want to get his jersey. The A-Train, baby. In my opinion, the third best fullback of all time behind Franco Harris and Larry Zonka. Hey, listen, Zonka and Harris are in the Hall of Fame. Why not put Allstott? Yes, that is definitely a cast and vote. We have another vote here for Gary Anderson. Again, there is a lot of kickers and punters, I believe, up for ballot this year. I mean, we already saw Ayers. I'm assuming we're going to see others. You have to be a very good kicker or punter to really make me vote for you. And Gary Anderson, in many eyes, is the third best kicker of all time. Of course, trailing behind Morton Anderson and Adam Vinatieri. So I'm voting for Gary Anderson too, all right? That one's for you, Pat McAfee. I'm doing it for the brand. Why not? Willie Anderson, tackle. I unfortunately don't know much about this guy, so he's kind of at an unfair advantage. He did make an All-Pro 3 times, which is awesome. But at the same time, I just don't know that much about him to really register him a vote, unfortunately. All right, now we have Ronnie Barber. I like a lot, just like the Eagles, man. I like a lot of former Buccaneers players from that Super Bowl 37 roster, too. Uh, it's tough, though. Barber, yeah, usually I wouldn't vote for Ronnie Barber, but since I technically don't have, like, a limit, I'll vote for him. If I had a limit, I probably wouldn't. But since it's unlimited, sure, we'll vote for him. His brother, on the other hand, Tiki Barber, I will not. And I know he's probably, honestly, the greatest Giants running back of all time. Here's the thing. The man, he did some legal stuff once he got out of the NFL. And, I know in 2010 he was inducted into the Giants Ring of Honor, as it says right there. I'm pretty sure they were booing him, too. The New York crowd was booing him throughout the ceremony, too. It's very unfortunate what happened to Tiki Barber, because he was a pretty good running back, but overall, I didn't even feel like he played enough to get into the Hall anyway, whether he did the stuff off the field or not. So I'm just simply not going to vote for him. Cornelius Bennett is definitely. I actually did a sportscaster. It's funny how ironic how they came out today, because I was doing a sportscaster stream on Saturday about one player from each team that I would actually pick to go into the Hall of Fame. Cornelius Bennett was actually my Bills pick. Also playing the Falcons and Colts. Yeah, I mean, he was a great run stopper. He was a fantastic, pretty much Robin to Bruce Smith, who I guess I would compare to Batman there. A fantastic combo between Smith and Ben. Obviously, Bruce Smith is in the Hall of Fame. We'll see if Cornelius Bennett. He's got my vote. Matt Burke. The name rings a bell, but simply put, it's just kind of the same thing as Willie Anderson. I just don't know a lot about the really above average offensive linemen. Like, I've heard of him before, but I just don't know much about him to really register him a vote. Drew Bledsoe, this is the same thing as Ronnie Barber, man. Like, if I was in a limit, like, if I just had, you can only pick, 10 players, listen, I would definitely not pick Drew Bledsoe. And to be honest, Bledsoe isn't even a Hall of Famer. He really isn't. But, you know what, man? I'm from the Massachusetts area, and I have all the respect in the world for Drew Bledsoe. I'll vote him in, but I want him to get voted in, but in my book, he's not a Hall of Famer. But again, I'm just voting him in because, I have respect for him. Oh, and this is my second favorite all-time retired player of all time, Tony Baselli, the left tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh boy. Oh, this man. This is 100% cast a vote. This man is perhaps the most underrated and most underappreciated offensive lineman of all time. He should have been in the Hall of Fame 2 to 3 years ago. At this point, this is just redundant. He better get into the Hall of Fame this year, man. We got to see a Jaguar actually make it to Canton, and it's gonna be Tony Baselli. I hate to say it, but it's going to be. The man has only committed 20-something career penalties. I think he only committed 26 penalties in a 6-year career. When you see offensive linemen nowadays make 15 penalties a season, this man was on a whole nother planet when it came to blocking pass rushers. Not to mention some notable pass rushers he shut down throughout his career. Simeon Rice, Bruce Smith, and pretty sure it was someone in the Broncos usually shut down too, but for some reason his name isn't coming to me. But Baselli, man, you gotta put him in the Hall of Fame, man. Lance Briggs, very good linebacker for the Bears, but this is tough. I'm gonna skip on Briggs. Lomas Thomas, same thing as other previous offensive linemen, pretty much not named Tony Baselli. I've heard of him, I just wouldn't really vote him in. Same thing with Reuben Brown. Sorry, offensive lineman. Now, I'll definitely try to do some more research so I can vote for him next year. We will see. Teddy Bruschi, yes, this is 100%. In my opinion, he, along with, I'm sure, another man on this list by the name of Zach Thomas, are two of the most underrated linebackers I think of all time. I know Brewski, he didn't make a lot of Pro Bowls, but his numbers were still phenomenal and was obviously, sorry for that, and obviously was the main linebacker for those Patriots Super Bowl runs in the early 2000s. Get Bledsoe in there. Leroy Butler's another one I'm going to have to vote. The man, he played his whole career with the Packers, but my God, he was such a good safety. And again, he was the backbone of that secondary when the Packers beat the Patriots in Super Bowl 31. He was the anchor of that secondary for roughly a decade and a half. I'm going for Leroy Butler. Absolutely. Ernest Biner, isn't he the guy who fumbled at the 1 yard line against the Broncos in the 87 AFC Championship game? I'm pretty sure this is the dude who's notorious for the fumble. I mean, great. I do know he ended up winning with with Washington. He ended up winning that Super Bowl with Mark Rippon in 91. But I don't know if he's even really a Hall of Famer. I mean, I don't have any of these guys' stats in front of me, but I don't really know if Ernest Byner's a Hall of Famer. I certainly wouldn't complain if he got it, and that would be pretty cool, but I'm not going to vote for him. Same thing with Larry Centers. Pretty good fullback, but I mean, Mike Allstott's the best one from that era, hands down from the early 2000s, so definitely not going to go for Larry Centers. Ray Childress is interesting. I'm not going to vote for him, but that one's interesting. Dallas Clark. Listen, he was very underrated, and he was very good. Here's my thing. If he wasn't on the Colts, is he even up for eligibility? Like, does Peyton Manning even make him the player he is without that Colts team? Without Tony Dungy? Not to mention, the reason why he got so many targets is because the Colts were, the defense were so focused on stopping Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne, you almost had no choice but to, have a linebacker covering Clark. And, yeah, he's going to make a lot of receptions against linebackers, as you'd probably expect. To be fair here, I think if Dallas Clark isn't on the Colts, I mean, maybe he'll still be up for eligibility, but I don't even think there's, a shot he gets into the Hall of Fame, to be honest with you. And, I like him as a player, but, I mean, listen, I really wouldn't vote him in again. I'm not going to. I think maybe in the future, if it's been a couple years, I guess, but I'm pretty sure it's only his first or second year of eligibility. I would wait a little bit longer if I was Dallas Clark, to vote for Dallas Clark, unless you're a Colts fan. I think you would think otherwise. Same thing with Ben Coates. He was a very good tight end. Honestly, more underrated than Dallas Clark, that's for sure. Pretty much the best Patriots tight end of all time if it wasn't for Gronkowski. Again, it's it's close. It's close. Oh, sorry for all the notifications. YouTube, Instagram, emails, whatever they are. I'm getting a lot of notifications here, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, for Ben Coates, I wouldn't do it. Nick Collins, same thing. I simply wouldn't do it. Overshadowed by Darius Butler for sure, but yeah, no, I'm not going to go for him. Josh Cribbs, who would have been the greatest kick returner of the decade if it wasn't for a certain Devin Hester. You want to know what, man? He's got my vote. Why not? Josh Cribbs. We need to see more special teams dudes in the Hall of Fame. And someone like Cribbs, I think, is more deserving than, let's say, for example, I don't know, like an above-average punter, let's say. We need to see more kick returns in the Hall of Fame, and dare I say, Cordell Patterson could be up for the ballot. Not just because, because as a receiver, he's kind of whatever. He's decent. He's not terrible, though. He's not great by any means. But because of his kick returning abilities, he might be up for ballot. Again, will they ever get into the Hall of Fame? Who knows? But me personally, I'm going for Cribs. And I'm pretty sure Devin Hester is eligible his first year, 2021. I think next year, I'm definitely voting for Devin Hester. Randall Cunningham, man, he was a very, very fast player. He just made plays happen outside the pocket. He was your razzle-dazzle quarterback from the 80s and 90s. He was pretty much the OG, scrambling quarterback, I'd say. Ultimately, he's not a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Michael Dean Perry. Oh, never mind. This guy's not Hall of Famer. I thought it was William Perry for a second. I'm like, oh, is this the Fridge? The dude on the Bears? But, no, I was actually reading about him, and he's the brother of William Perry. You got the wrong Perry. If it was the Fridge, I would have voted him in. If it's Michael Dean Perry, I mean, hey, wish you best luck, but I'm not going to vote you in. Jake Delhomme? What? Jake Delhomme is up for ballot? What? Who is going to vote? No disrespect, but who in the hell is going to vote in Jake Delhomme? My God. That is so disrespectful what I just said. Listen, he did have a good career. And, he almost won the Super Bowl, too. The Super Bowl 38 against the Patriots. But, no. No, listen. Really? Jake Delhomme, that's interesting. Oh, that's cool. That's cool he's up for ballot. I'm not going to vote for him, but that's cool. Corey Dillon, yep. He was a, sorry, Jake Delhomme, if you ever see this, but, hey, I'm not trying to dump your career or anything. You were pretty good, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe one day. I'd be cool with that. Anyway, Corey Dillon, yeah, he's definitely got my vote. Was a fantastic running back in the Bengals. And then once he went to the Patriots, in his lone playoff appearance with the team, of course, the Patriots ran the table and won Super Bowl 39 against the Eagles. So, yeah, Corey Dillon pretty much was just a solid player in a bad team. Then once he got traded to a good team, he took advantage of his opportunity. Sure, we'll go with that. Ooh, Double D, Donald Driver. This is another one, man, where it's like, it's so close. It's ridiculous. Do I really want to vote in Donald Driver to the Hall of Fame? Would I want to vote for him? Sure, but at the same time, I don't really know if he has the stats to. Obviously, this is too early, but if I was going to vote in a Packer receiver, it would probably be either Antonio Freeman or Jordy Nelson. Freeman might be up for a ballot. We'll see. And Nelson, of course, is too new. But, Double D, yeah, we'll go for Double D, whatever. I'm not going to try to be harsh on these guys. Donald Driver gets my vote. Excuse me. Warren Dunn, he's a pretty good running back with the Falcons and the Bucs, but I'll skip on Warren. I'll skip on Dunn. Jason Elam, decent kicker, but I ain't going to vote for him. Henry Ellard was pretty much the above average Josh Cribbs. I was looking at stats the other week too. He actually has a decent shot at making the Hall of Fame. I'll help him out. I'll vote for him. Alan Fanisa, again, offensive lineman, don't know much about him. Jeff Fiegels, this is interesting. Now I ain't gonna vote for him. This makes me curious though. For a guy who watches the Pat McAfee show, do you guys think McAfee will be eligible? What is it, 2022 would be his first year? You think? He made an All-Pro. He made 2 Pro Bowls. No offense, but someone like Jeff Fiegels is getting in. Maybe? If it's fan voted? I don't know. She's probably focused on wrestling. Bro, Deeprick Sean Ferguson, another offensive lineman. I actually know a little bit about this guy. Overall, I wouldn't vote for him, but yeah, at least the name sounds more familiar. London Fletcher, yes, arguably the most underrated linebacker, I think, in the history of the game. Right up there with Brewski and Zach Thomas. So, yeah, I'll go with Lon Fletcher. And this is another joke, right? Just like Jake Delhomme. What? Listen, again, no disrespect to Jeff Garcia, but really, like, come on, man. Like, no, 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 no. We're just moving on. Eddie George. Yeah, why not? Yeah, sure. Eddie George was. He and Ray Lewis, man. Well, they had some battles back in the day. Overall, though, yeah, he was just a fantastic, grinded out running back. He was very elusive, but he also. How do I explain? I'm trying to compare him to a nowadays running back. Like, I would say like a Pro Bowl level Joe Mixon, if that makes sense. Like a running back who's very elusive, but can also get the job done while trying to pound the rock, if that makes sense. I'll vote for him. Kevin Glover, don't know much about. Same thing with Leroy Glover, don't know much about those two, so I'm just going to skip over him. Mel Gray, decent, but no. Jordan Gross, same thing, decent, but no. Casey Hampton, again, I mean, I don't have these guys stats in front of me, but nah. Merton Hanks, oh yeah, I've heard of him. Nah. Jason Hansen. He was a decent kicker with the Lions. He played there forever. Nah. Ronnie Harrison, sure. He was a very good safety for the Patriots, so yeah, we'll go for that. James Hasty, nah. Priest Holmes, sure. Torrey Holt, we can get a Jaguar in the Hall of Fame. Hey, yeah, get Torrey Holt in the Hall of Fame. Get Tony Baselli in there too, but there we go. We can have our Jaguar in the Hall of Fame. Torrey Holt, fantastic. Of course, member of the Rams. He should be in the Hall of Fame anyway. Just join Kurt Warner, Isaac Bruce, and Marshall Falk. Excuse me. We can have the entire Grave Show on Turf in the Hall of Fame now. Put him in there. Ken Hull, decent, but I'm not going to vote him in. Same thing with Keith Jackson. He was decent, but no. Steven Jackson, running back for the Rams back in the early 2000s. Running backs are so tough, man. I'm going to have to skip on that one. Calvin Johnson's up for eligibility. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Megatron. Oh, yeah. I'm definitely voting for Megatron, man. This man would win any jump ball against any cornerback. This man was a machine. And boy, Matthew Stafford has not been the same quarterback since he left. Yes. And Chad Ochocinco, yes, I'll vote for him as well. Brent Jones, I will not. Seth Joyner. Okay, Seth Joyner. Well, I'm going to have to think about this one for a second. Pretty good linebacker for the Eagles and the Broncos, too. Yeah, sure. Why not? Won't hurt. John Casey, no. Olin or Cruz, never really heard of him. David Craig, no. Moving on. Sean Landetta, yes, this is the biggest special teams Hall of Fame snub of all time right here. Former Giants punter, won 2 Super Bowls there. Oh, God, he played from like the mid-'80s to the mid-2000s. Sean Landetta played for like 20-something years. Probably says it right there, actually. Oh, he also has the shortest punt in history with a negative 7-yard punt. Why would you say that on his Hall of Fame ballot? You're trying to vote him in, right? That's great that they mentioned that. Yeah, no, that was, what was that? Pretty sure that was against the Bears in the divisional round, in the 85 divisional round, I'm pretty sure. Oh my God, that is funny. Oh my God. Well, why would they mention that when they're putting him up for the Hall? I don't know. Anyway, Albert Willis, no. Jamal Lewis, sure. Ryan Longwell, no. Nick Lowry, no. John Lynch, now 49ers GM. Yeah, I would. Logan Mankins, definitely. Peyton Manning, obviously. I actually have a Peyton Manning jersey on the Broncos. Yeah, he was just amazing, man. How could you not vote for Peyton Manning? Come on, man. We're obviously doing it. Derek Mason, no. Clay Matthews, yes. He was very good. Gerard Mayo, ooh. I'm going to vote him in, but Gerard Mayo, I think to a lot of people, is not a Hall of Famer. And you're kind of right, but I'm voting for him anyway. Tim McDonald, no. Willie McGinnis, yes. Donovan McNabb, oh yeah, look at my stats. I'm Hall of Famer. I ain't voting for you because guess what? You never made an All-Pro. Get out of here. Steve McNair I will vote for, though. And also, while we're at it with the Eagles, early 2000s teams, I wonder if Brian Westbrook's on here. I would vote for Brian Westbrook. Eric Metcalf, no. Miles Gilbert, no. Heath Miller, no. Sam Mills, sure. Ryan Mitchell, no. Rasheed Muhammad. Rasheed Muhammad, really? Oh, boy, no. Tom Dillon, no. Lorenzo Neal, Leslie O'Neal, nah. Joey Porter, nah. Simeon Rice, Reggie Roby. He was actually a pretty good punter with the Dolphins back in the day. Nah. I wouldn't vote him in. Alan Rossum, no. Asante Samuel, yes. Man. This guy was a beast. 6 pick sixes. Chris Samuels, no. Bob Sanders, maybe, but he's too injury prone. Jeff Saturday, yes. Richard Seymour, Jeremy Shockey, Jimmy Smith, definitely. I've spoken to him quite a few times off Instagram DMs, actually. I'll probably send him over this clip, actually. So, what's up, Jimmy Smith, if you ever watch this? But, yeah, no, definitely getting in the Hall of Fame for me. I mean, won the Super Bowl with the Cowboys, and then, got injured, unfortunately. Jaguars picked him up and worked his way and was a fantastic receiver, regular season and playoffs. So, yeah, definitely. I'll definitely vote for Jimmy Smith. What here? Justin Smith, nah. Neil Smith, nah. Rod Smith, no. Chris Spielman, nah. Takeo Spikes, no. Ron Stark, no. Pat Swilling, Dale Talley, Steve Tasker, Fred Taylor, yes. Zach Thomas, absolutely. Charles Tillman, Peanut. Would I vote for the Peanut? Nah. Maybe in a couple years. Greg Townsend, I have a couple of his football cards. Nah. Justin Tuck, no. Matt Turk, no. Troy Vincent, yes. He was a pretty good corner. Herschel Walker. Oh, Herschel Walker. Well, I should say, Herschel Walker. Oh, Vikings. What a dumb trade you made there. Herschel Walker was great, but no, I'm not going to do it. Westy Walls. Hines Ward, yes. Brian Waters. Ricky Waters, no. Reggie Wayne, happy birthday, by the way. Filming this on Reggie Wayne's, 42nd, 43rd birthday? I don't remember. But yeah, Reggie Wayne, definitely. Why not? Richmond Webb, no. Wes Walker. Really? No. Ronnie White, no. Eric Williams, no. Oh my God, how long is this? My God. Kevin Williams, no. Patrick Willis, yes. Adrian Wilson, no. Steve Wisniewski, no. Charles Woodson, yeah, he was great with the Packers and the Raiders. Darren Wilson, no. Bryant Young, no. And we are done. All right. I'm not giving you guys any of my personal information, but here are my voters. Jared Allen, Mike Allstott, Gary Anderson, Ronnie Barber, Cornelius Bennett, Drew Bledsoe, Tony Baselli, Teddy Bruschi, Leroy Butler, Josh Cribbs, Corey Dillon, Donald Driver, Henry Ellard, London Fletcher, Eddie George, Ronnie Harrison, Priest Holmes, Torrey Holt, Megatron, Chad Ochocinco, Seth Joyner, Sean Landetta, Jamal Lewis, John Lynch, Logan Mankins, Peyton Manning, Clay Matthews, Gerard Mayo, Willie McGinnis, Steve McNair, Sam Mills, Asante Samuel, Jeff Saturday, my boy Jimmy Smith, and my other boy Fred Taylor, Zach Thomas, Troy Vincent, Hines Warren, Reggie Wayne, Patrick Willis, and Charles Woodson. I think about 6 or 7 of these guys actually will make into the Hall of Fame. So, guys, make sure you go vote. I'll make sure I'll put the put the link of this in the description. Let me know who you voted for in the comments below. I'm Grant Fluff from Floodsters Sports Zone saying, have a good night.